Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below.
Howdy, everybody. How are you guys doing? I am Austin. I am y'all's commentator today. And welcome to the AOR Hype Energy F1 Tier 2 League, also known as the F2 League. Round 3 here in China. We're here at the Shanghai International Circuit. And after a crazy Round 2 at Bahrain to go up against the crazy rainy wet race of Australia, I think we're in for a very good fight. There's a little bit of highlights flash up from other battles in previous races. I don't know why that popped up, but this is another track designed by Herman Tilke. The Shanghai International Circuit was built upon reclaimed marshland. The paddock actually is the giant swamp. The $450 million facility has retained some of its former life as a swamp, with the paddock and hospitality area surrounded by water, which is what I just said. It's a very cool place to ever go there in real life. I've never been because I'm American. Tires available today are the mediums, the softs, and the ultra softs. And I'm pretty sure y'all want to see a very exciting hot lap around. So let's bring it on to Evo as he brings on a very fast hot lap.
This week we're on board with the Ferrari of Evo from the Xbox F1 League as he navigates a lap of the Shanghai International Circuit ahead of the Chinese Grand Prix. Starting his lap now on the rundown toward a very high-speed, swooping double right-hander of turns 1 and 2. Not an easy overtaking location, but we do expect to see some side-by-side action at these corners during the races this week. Try to open up turn 3 as much as possible in order to get the best run through turn 4 and inevitably turn 5 and into the very likely overtaking location at the hairpin of turn 6. Evo will be braking right around the 100-meter board and all the way down to second gear for the entrance and apex before popping back up into third gear for the exit in order to minimize wheel spin. Up through the gears on the short run down to my favorite part of the track with a high-speed left and then a slightly lower speed right, dropping from 7th down to 5th and hugging the inside of the corner as much as possible in order to open up the double left-handers of 9 and 10. 10 is a bit more open than 9, so carry that speed on to the medium length straight and down toward the heavy braking zone of turn 11, and also the DRS detection line at the entrance of turn 12, which along with turn 13 make up the most important corners on the circuit due to the extremely long straight that follows them. Understeer can be your biggest enemy coming out of these increasing radius corners, and proximity to the car in front will have a huge effect on your ability to overtake into the super heavy braking zone of turn 14. Well over 330 kph with the DRS open, Evo now spots his braking point just before the 100-meter board and slams on the brakes, downshifting all the way to second gear once again, but holding it for a bit of the exit before climbing back up through the gears towards the tricky final corner. Stab of the brakes and 2 downshifts are enough to get the car through the corner cleanly, and then it's a short sprint to the line, and that's a lap of the Shanghai International Circuit.
Thank you for that wonderful hot lap, Evo, and just for the comms there. As we are getting ready to go live in qualifying, I hope you guys are hashtag AOR hyped to chat, because here we are in China for round 3. Alright, as we are here in China, not the biggest field like we usually had. Everyone's on the medium tires. Don't have the pit strategy up for y'all today, sadly. Since I still have the F1 esports stuff on there as we're following THM. He took pole last race in Bahrain. And THM making it look very good as he comes around that long, hard turn 12 and flies down this long straight. Once again, you want to hit the brakes as soon as those curbs pop up. A little bit of lockup in the front left tire. Hard on the gas, though. He's rocketing down, coming into the final corner. Clips that curve, rides it on to the outside, opens up DRS and across the front line, and THM does not get the fastest lap. That lap belongs to Julian, actually. As we're going to go on to his teammate of Smeesh, and he's coming around the first few corners. Some of the drivers call it the snail section because you're just crawling at a snail's pace. Bit of a lockup for Smeesh right there. That back end dancing around happily, but in control. And he's approaching turn 3. Hard on the brakes once more. Bit of a lockup right there, but he's getting on the gas a little bit of drift action right there. Let's come around this long, high-end speed section. You want to have the best downforce right here so you can get through it faster. As Crisis takes the new pole, the 131.708. Crisis is in the Mercedes. Looking very good as Smeesh coming around that giant rotunda section. He's got a car ahead of him. I don't think that, I think that may be some idiot just ahead of him. No, it's not some idiot. That is Julian ahead of him. Or, nope, that is a Ferrari. That is THM. Oh, massive lockup by Smeesh right there. As he came into the braking zone, and he's going to back off that lap and probably head into the pits. Yeah, no, he's going to finish this. Big lockup, weaved on it. Smeesh is going to go into 8th. So we see the Williams in the background. And that is Zerd as he takes pole. Zerd with a 131.515. Great lap by him. Where is Tom? I'm not sure. Where's everyone else? I'm not sure. A lot of people have been getting sick and family and focusing on school. Remember, this is season 17. It is a 10 race season. It's not as big as season 16 was. This is just a 10 race season to get us over the hump and get ready for F1 2019. Speaking of getting ready, Martin G 1337 Elite Boy comes out on the Ultra Soft tires. And yes, WCR Rick, it would have been easy points. As I believe the people Rainer and Zerd, well, Zerd's the only one here. Yeah. Anyway, Martin G coming across this high-speed section, going around the double left-hander, but oh, that is a lap invalidated. Definitely, but he's still pushing hard into the new sales section as THM pulls out the new fast lap of 131.511. We're going to have a fight very soon with 10 minutes left in the qualifying session. Martin G opens up DRS. Flying down this long straight. Hard on the brakes. No lockup, no drama. Clip the apexes a tad bit. See if he commits to this. Nope, but he's committed to the pit lane. Oh, he has a lockup while trying to go into the pit lane. Luckily, he didn't pull a Lewis Hamilton right there and have a little bit of an issue. Take a look at Brownie and that Red Bull. He's coming across the line. I believe he's going to finish his lap right here. Well, he set a 132, but he did not get it counted, so I believe that was a invalidated lap. So that's unfortunate, Brownie. He drops it down to 0 ERS. Let's take a look at Koldo. Koldo just starting his lap, so we're going to stay on board with the McLaren. Let's see how he does. Now, there is opportunities for other drivers to get in here. I did see a few people launch up the game. Well, join the session while we were getting everything ready, but qualifying has just started right then. So I'm not sure who is in here, but I do believe there are going to be some people who have not set a qualifying time coming into this race, as we were watching Kodo come up into the first tight corner after that and come into Sector 2. Keeping it close to the apex in this high-speed section. Kodo's been having very varying results of success. Australia, he was up there with his teammate, but in Bahrain, it was just not the best race for him. So he's now coming into the Rotunda. But he does put his foot to the floor, and now he's rocketing down the back straight. He's going to open up that flap on the rear wing. That is DRS. Hard on the brakes when you see that curb. Big lockup, a puff of smoke right there. But he's still rocketing on those medium tires. Now you kind of want to stay off the ultra soft tires during qualifying since they only last a few laps. And here comes Koldo, and he goes P3 for the sole driver for the McLaren team. The only two teams I believe that have a full team, it is the Ferraris and Force Indias. And Kodo's the only one out on track. Actually, speaking of Force India, here is Julian coming out in the number 29. Julian just prepping those tires, getting ready for that outlap. There's a dog barking in the background. I'm sorry. Sorry about that lack of audio. I had to go quiet a dog. As we're watching Gilly now, he's cranked it all the way up to 5 ERS and getting ready to rip and roll here in China. What can the Force India do here today? Coming around the first few turns right now. There's not one solid set line that is the fastest here, but drivers kind of figured out which one they prefer to go wide at the start and crank it into that little switchback section, because you'll have the inside line, or you can say the inside. But going into that in a full-on pack is going to be much more crazier. And Julian is very accustomed to having that. We have a few yellow flags in sectors 2 and 3, which is where Julian is right now. What can we find in here? Yellow flag has gone away, so there's probably somebody let someone through. No one's retired or crashed yet. This is qualifying. We got 3 minutes left. We're about to enter crunch time, as Julian has a little bit of a lockup in the front left. Will more people join? I believe there are some people joined for the race right now. They just joined a bit late after, and they're just in for qualifying. But as for right now, I do believe there are about 13 people here. Hard on the brakes goes Julian into the hairpin. The 28th is a very weird day for a few people, including me. That's why I'm only here. And Julian comes across the line. Here comes Julian. Julian sets pole the whopping 1:36.53. What a lap by Julian. We're going to look at Le Mans right now in the Renault. Coming down that long back straight. It's going to look for that DRS. Hits that right there. You heard that little click? That's him hitting the button and it getting deployed hard on the brakes. And oh, I7 retiring from the session a bit earlier, 2 minutes ago. That might have been a crash. I don't see any yellow flags. It just might have been he just didn't have any tires left. We see Brownie coming out of the pits right now, and Le Mans, I believe he's just now starting his lap. Yellow flags in sector 3. Chrysler's coming out of sector 3 right now. It's Chrysler, he's starting his lap right now. Some idiot teammate to Julian. He's just now coming through the opening sector. Will rejoin on his lap. On board with Chrysler, so actually Chrysler is just ahead of Some Idiot. So it looks like Some Idiot is following Chrysler just a bit. Chrysler's not getting any toe off Some Idiot as Julian has retired for the session. He's done all that he can do as Martin G steals first place. The Alfa Romeo making it look very nice. The 136.14. Gap to the leader is all within a second. We got Coldo, he's going back out there. His teammate Tom 97HD not in this qualifying session, but I do believe he might be here for the race. Coldo comes across the line and now starting his lap. Joining everyone on those last chance efforts. Like Chrysler right now. Chrysler actually has a few people in the way. He's going hard on the brakes, and that is the do you believe that's Some Idiot ahead of him? So Some Idiot passed Chrysler at some point during his lap. Some Idiot just came across the line. Chrysler boots it up into P5. Le Mans comes across the line, as well as Marion. No improvement on some of these times. Some Idiot just now starting his lap. And strange thing for Some Idiot, he is on the medium tires. We saw Zerd move up there from P4 into P3, splitting that. The top four all within 1/10 of a second of each other. That gap between Martin G and Julian is insane. Some Idiot has to deal with these high speed corners first. See if he can close that gap up to his teammate. Bit puff of smoke off the lockup. Coming down into the Rotunda section of sector 3. Another little bit of a lockup on those medium tires. Less grippy of the tires, but lower wearing. And we aren't seeing anyone qualifying on the Ultra Softs as Coldo sets a new fast lap of 135.71. And once again, top four all within 1/10. He knocked down I7. And Some Idiot hard on the brakes. So buttery smooth. No drama right there. And he's coming off onto the gas. THM takes pole now on the Ferrari. Some Idiot comes across the line. He jumps up into P9. Chrysler's coming across. He finishes out. But it's currently THM sitting at the top. Shout out to Team Shizou in chat. How are y'all today? Zerd is the last one on track, but he is on 0 ERS, and we are done. It's THM giving a little bit of a bump draft. Oh, okay. Okay. Alright. AI's gonna do what AI's gonna do. THM takes pole as Zerd just retired from the session. And here are the results after that qualifying session. In 3, 2, 1. Yeah, there they are. It is THM taking pole, followed by Coldo, Le Mans, Martin G, Smeesh, Julian, Zerd, I7, Chrysix, Marion, 78, and Brownie. Those are your qualifying guys. Brownie not starting. Brownie not setting a lap time. 78 went on to the mediums, tried to jump into the top 10, but I believe he's going to start on the mediums. Everyone qualifying on the softs will be starting on the soft tires, and we will see y'all after these short messages. Alright, we're here and ready to go on the grid. Waiting for everyone to get into their cars and get ready to go for the formation lap. I hope you guys are hashtag AOR hyped for this race, because I certainly am. Now, I thought we were going to have more people in here that joined during qualifying, but no, the guys you saw in qualifying are the guys in the race. No one joined later. So we got Chrysix, Smeege, Brownie, 78, Zerd, Lamont, Marion, I7, Koldo, Martin G, THM, and Julian on there, as we are taking a bit of looks at other past broadcasts right now from other games. On the old time, you hear the cars roaring in the background. They're on the formation lap right now, and we're going to catch up with them. So we're here on track, and for the race here in China, first row it is THM and Koldo. The second row it is the Renault of Le Mans and the Alfa Romeo of Martin G. In the third row it is the Ferrari of Smeege and the Racing Point Force India, or just the Racing Point car, of Julian. Behind them in the Williams, it is Zerd and I7. In the fifth row, it is Chrysix and Marion. And starting in the sixth row, it is the other Racing Point car of Some Idiot and Brownie. They'll be starting on the medium tires and on a completely different strategy. As, Rodden tried to join into this race and was just not able to do it. Not in time, buddy. Not in time. Send me a message. One sec. Sorry about that. I had to check on something. Tell him that this is not what you think it is. As Smeege is actually drifting the car around and saw the back tires lighting up for him. That's not going to call the best tire strat to warm up their ways. Yeah, sure, they're warmed up, but that's also wearing down. But Smeege knows how to give everyone a little bit of a show as everyone's coming around that final turn and getting ready to go racing here in Shanghai. We'll keep our cameras on Smeege as we see a Brownie, the last one to rejoin. He's going to cool off the tires at THM, try to play a little bit strategic right now as everyone is waiting on him. I believe we are ready to go green. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away they go here in China. Massive puffs of smoke, and here we go. Great start by I7 and Brownie getting the jump on something as they're going 3 wide immediately to start, but they're 2 by 2. Look at Koldo and Lamont trading places. Martin G also on the inside. THM and here comes the switchback. Koldo jumps up into second place. Lamont in second place. Martin G falling back. He's going to swing up to the inside. Now it's going to be the outside. There's side by side in the back. Look at Koldo though. He's fighting with the front wing. Smeege going up in there. Smeege pulling off the inside of Martin G, and now Smeege moves up into P4. Martin G falling down 2 places. Zerd trying to go around the outside. He cuts into the inside. Now Zerd gets ahead of Martin G. Martin G just falling down the field. As I saw Julian try to make something out of that. And he tried to make a move up the inside. As we see Chrysix though. Chrysix making a move up the inside of Marion. They're side by side. Oh, Chrysix goes wide and Chrysix is in the grass. Let's look at the giant back straight. Marion and Julian going side by side as everyone's trying to stay within that slipstream with each other. Both racing points, all of them staying within each other. We're taking a look at Smeesh right now in the braking zone. So they're all rocketing towards that start. Everyone keeping it very clean. But it's THM in the lead. Followed by Kodo, Lomond, Smeesh moving up 1 place, Zerd moving up 2 places, Martin G falling down 2 places, I7 moving up 1, Marion, the biggest loser of that I would say is Chrysix and Julian. They've both fallen down a lot of places right now. Take a look at Marion right now. One of the biggest movers of the field. Saw him trying to make a move on, he did make a move on Julian. As we look ahead on Martin G, he's trying to claim that position back from I7. Well, he's trying to prevent I7 from taking that position in that Haas. As a bit of a gap is forming to the other cars up in the front. I7 dancing around Martin G's rear end. He's trying to find any way to get past Martin G wide onto the AstroTurf. Very slippery out there. Don't want to be out there for too long. They're coming around the Rotondra right now. DRS is not enabled. We see Kodo and THM up at front. As they're going hard on into the braking zone. Kodo, though, get on the brakes. Oh, I think they might have touched right there. I don't believe there might have been contact, but it was so close between Kodo and THM. Now Lamont closing in on Kodo. As we enter lap 3, DRS is now enabled. They fly into turn 1. See Lamont dancing around that back end of Kodo, just trying to find any advantage he can, or just trying to play some mind games. But the top 4 have definitely pulled out a gap to Zerd and everyone in the midfield pack. But everyone's staying within a second of each other so far, so everyone will have DRS except for THM. And on this long back straight, that is the main equalizer here in China. THM getting a little bit loose coming in to the Rotondra of turn 12, turn 11, that little off-camber turn. We see Kodo chasing down THM right here. Kodo might have a run on THM in that Ferrari. We saw last time in the braking zone that Kodo came up to the back end of him as we're coming down there. Kodo has DRS. Kodo's going to sweep to the inside. Hard on the brakes. Who's going to be last to late breakers? Kodo locks up and he's going to hold off THM right there. And Kodo gets P1. And now THM's turn to fight back. Kodo has to do a fast lap of 1:34.586. THM has DRS, but he's not going to get anything off of that as he's chasing down Kodo. And now Lamont's got a different shade of red in front of him. It's now the Ferrari instead of the McLaren. But Lamont doesn't care who it is. He's still going to be dancing on their rear ends. On their gearboxes, I should say. Looks like THM and Kodo have pulled out a little bit of gap to Lamont and Smeesh and everyone else. So we're going to stay on board with Smeesh. looking to have a better exit than Le Mans coming into the Rotunda. Turning into turn 11. Le Mans missing that apex. He clips that one back in. Just trying to be stable. We see Smeej also dancing with that back end, dancing with that throttle, trying to find all the grip. They're all within DRS range. You're going to see the DRS pop up open for Smeej right here. Is THM going to try something at the front? No, they aren't. Le Mans getting into the braking, but he blocks up, and now Smeej on the attack of Le Mans. But Le Mans holds off Smeej, but Smeej got his nose in there and will have the better exit out of turn 13. Le Mans ran wide, and now Smeej bearing his front wing in there, and he shoots to the inside coming into turn 1. They're side by side. Smeej, Le Mans, Smeej, Le Mans. Smeej got his entire body in there. He forces Le Mans wide, but now for Le Mans has the inside line. They're still bumping and grinding through there, but it is Smeej taking P3. Great move by Smeej right there. Big lockup from Kodo and THM. Le Mans still trying to close in on Smeej, but unable to do so. And speaking of closing in, Zerd is also closing in on the Renault. Zerd following closely to this pack, not letting any of them get a little slither of breathing room. But everyone is a bit spreading out right now. The only biggest gap is Brownie, who's at the back of the field, and everyone's not. Oh, we got a crash! Martin G has spun it in the rotunda. He's got a bit of oversteer of that, set in the back, wheels spinning around. And that is very unfortunate for Martin G in the Alfa Romeo. And now he sits behind some idiot. Some idiot does not have DRS, and I believe Martin G does. So Martin G trying to regain that position. He's going to send it from out of nowhere on some idiot double wheel lockup. Some idiot forced to go to the outside. And that is very, very glad that nothing happened from right there, from that massive lockup, from that send. And now some idiot's on the attack to Martin G, but no, some idiot does not gain DRS from that. I believe some idiot might have an issue with his DRS wing. Gonna rejoin both the Ferraris and the leaders right now. It was so unfortunate for Martin G. He had not the best starts, and he just kept falling down the field, and then he had that. Oh, just hurtful. Now the top field is a bit separated from the second half field with that 1 second gap from the top 6 to Marion, and everyone following up behind. It's this little lead pack right now of THM, Smeej, and Kodo, your podium sitters right now in this 28 lap race here in Shanghai. Goes on. We'll go down that long straight. I don't see anyone trying to make any last minute braking moves. Everyone just saving it for natural speed and not in the braking zone. But that just shows you on how much these guys want this pace and this win here in China. As we see, a lot of people have oversteering issues coming out of the very final corner of turn 14. So go back into turn 1. We see THM once more closing up on Koldo. Actually, if you see in the background, Marianne and Julian are actually having a bit of a battle. In the back, we saw Marianne trying to get the jump on Julian. Both ends racing, both Shizhu guys on different teams, but they're all on the same eSport team. Julian has joined Shizhu after a few rounds, after a few races with Ozone. And he's made the switch to Shiju right now, and I believe Shiju is in the chat, and he is grateful for their support. And Marianne, also grateful to have another Shiju member on the track right now. So they might have a little bit of spirited battle. We're joining back up with THM. We have a look behind at Smeej, though. Smeej, as they close in, nothing can happen from them. They're getting on the gas and rocketing down this side straight. Smeej does have a little bit of run on THM, so we're going to stay on board with Smeej right now and see if Smeej can close in on his teammate and the leader on that straight. Is also Chrysix closing in on Marion, who is close to Julian right now. See Martin G popping up some dust right there. Chrysix has that battle ahead of him. That battle might kick off very soon. Just never know when it's going to be. We're going to rejoin Smeej and the leaders right now. We're coming out this long back straight. DRS is open for THM. THM pulling away like a missile to Smeej. THM looking poised for a move, but he's going to break a bit late. Thinks about it. Not going to send anything from out of nowhere on Kodo. And he's just going to rest back. MP3 is actually, Chrysix gets overtaken by Martin G right there. Martin G, after suffering that spin, gets his first on-track overtake from overtaking the Mercedes car. At least somebody that's also back there on those mediums. Just letting the soft tire guys have their fun before he tries anything on everyone else. Mary and Julian still having that close battle as we're on lap 9 of 28. We're going through these high-speed corners. Marion closing in on Julian. Julian, though, just holding that better line. Marion tried a little bit of a cheeky corner cut right there. Unable to close in. We're going to switch back up to Smeej and the Rotundra. See if he can close in on his teammate right now in that double slipstream he's getting from Kodo. Kodo, though, definitely enjoying the lead right now. DRS is open. Smeej goes hard on the brakes. Big lockup from Kodo right there. THM has a little bit of lockup that closes up everybody once more. Oh, Smeej getting a little bit loose outside turn 1. And he's chasing down THM closely. Big lockup from Smeej right there. And the front left. Trying to regain his car, and he did, but oh, he just had the run as Kodo locks it up going into turn 3. And THM misses the corner completely. It's going to be disastrous for THM. Big gap popping up for Kodo. And now THM under pressure from his teammate, as Smeej is now closing in on THM. THM just pulling away from Smeej. Smeej on the curbs, trying to just keep his stable car. Closing in on the Ferrari, the tire where it is going out right now. 10 laps on these softs, 10 to 12 laps are the limit here. We're going to go on board with Smeej. Closing on THM. THM still in DRS range, but Smeege closing in on THM like a rocket. Not any moves gonna be set by the Ferrari boys on each other. We want to keep the teammates' code and just stay respectful to each other as THM and Koldo, both of them going into the pits as Smeege takes the IndyCar exit as they go into the pits. Smeege now inherits the lead and first one to go onto the mediums. It is THM. Where does that leave him? Oh, it actually has an unsafe release. It has to slow down for I-7. And I believe Koldo's been held. No, wait. Yeah, no. What? Oh, that was just a graphical issue. I thought that was Koldo, but no. Koldo was ahead of THM. And now Koldo staying the net leader on those fresh medium tires. Has a gap, and we're going to rejoin with Marion and Julian with the battle for P3. Smeege staying out, not wanting to pit with his teammate. 21 seconds separate Smeege and Koldo. Smeege pushing as hard as he can. He's actually gaining time on Koldo. Koldo unable to gain any temperature in those tires. So Smeege might be able to pull off a successful undercut if he pits this lap. Pit delta is around 21 to 22 seconds, so it will be very close on the exit here. As we see Smeege having a little bit of a lockup, lighting up the rear tires, coming into the pit zone. And he stays out for one more. He thinks he's still got grip as Zerd launches himself into the pits. As well as everyone, but also Marion staying out. Some idiot staying out. He's the first of the medium starters to stay out on the tires. Well, Koldo, what does that do for Koldo now? Does that give Koldo an advantage to actually warm up his tires in a way and get a jump into first place with a successful undercut? But also remember, tire wear at the very end of this race will be crucial for Koldo and THM, as well as Le Mans and Julian. And actually, Zerd has cut in between of Le Mans and THM right now and rejoins the track in P7. We'll be switching between the gap of leaders right now. 21 seconds separates Smeege and Koldo. And Smeege running out of tire wear. Might have overstayed his welcome just a little bit as that gap falls down to 20.9. Smeege definitely needs to go into the pits. And yeah, here he goes. Onto the pits. Bit of a lockup, but great attack in there. No mistakes at all. He might have a better entry than Koldo did, and there is no mistake right there as Ferrari comes out of the pit box right now. Some idiot now inherits the lead. Marion following in there. Smeege coming out of the pits. We're going to switch to Koldo. Koldo coming down that back straight. Now the front straight. Where is Koldo? He sets the fast lap. Where is Smeege? Smeege gets jumped at the very end, and Smeege comes ahead of his teammate though. There's THM on the inside of the track, and Smeege is on the outside, unable to find grip. They switch around, and THM with the undercut on his teammate. He's trying to jump 2 positions, and I believe this is a public session. And that's why all these people are hopping in right now. Yep, this is a public session. Do not join. Everyone's switching around right now, getting on the gas and getting ready to go. As some idiot is the new leader here on the field. Smees tried for the strategy overcut, unable to do so, and falls back behind of his Ferrari teammate. But he does have DRS than his teammate. Also, look at Zerd. He's looking very dicey right now. Zerd might have something to say on Smeej. Everyone is saying that Slichting keeping it nice. Coming into the braking zone, though, no one trying anything dicey or setting. Everyone's keeping it very straight as Marion falls down to the very last spot for Martin G. Martin G around the outside of Marion gets the move on the Suzuki driver for Toro Rosso. And I7 sets a new fast lap on track in that Haas. And actually, Marion and Martin G are still battling at it again. These guys don't want to give up any track positions. Marion is just riding on the gearbox of Martin G. Martin G holding up on the inside. Marion, big lockup, tries to go for the outside, trying to go for the switch up, but Martin G close to the door. And Marion just has to stand in the darkness and regain himself as he chases down the Alfa Romeo of Martin G. We're going to switch over to Zerd right now. He is closing in on Smeej once more, but oh, it's just a gap to him and those two Ferraris. It is so big. Smeej just had the pull on THM, but Kodo is definitely running away. Brownie goes into the pits, and now Kodo inherits P2. Submitted, though, still in the lead of the race, is 10 seconds ahead of Kodo. Submitted started on those medium tires. Just be very curious on where he comes out. He might go straight to the back of the field where he came in, because everyone is just so close with each other. Watching Speech and THM have the little teammate battle right here as they start going through the high speed corners. THM taking a defensive position. He weaves back in the braking zone. Big puff of smoke for that lock of it. Now Smeej, the ever eventful Smeej, take the mistake and he ran with it. THM comes across the grass, trying to cut off of Smeej, and now Summit headed into the pits while all that was going on, and now Kodo has the lead of the race. But Smeez jumped on the opportunity from THM's mistake, and he made it work out good. And now THM under pressure by Zerd. We have a helicopter shot from up top, looking down at these drivers right now. Zerd trying to close in on THM after having that mistake. We're going to take a look at the position changes right now. 16 laps into this race. I believe almost at halfway point. The biggest movers are Smeej and Zerd. Biggest loser falling down. It is Martin G falling down 5 places after that spin in the carousel. Smeech, that's the new fast lap of 1:34.005, almost as fast as qualifying time of 1:33. As Marion gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, THM following Smeech closely, keeping him in reach right now. Zerd trying to stay within reach of THM, but knowing Zerd, he will pounce at any opportunity he gets. And after THM mistaken the braking zone, Zerd is just using any sort of mind tricks he can to get closer to THM and force a mistake. As for Kono, though, he's kind of running away with this. But speaking of running away is something not to say to Marion, as some idiot has closed in on Marion on those fresh soft tires. And some idiots just staying close by on the Shizou driver. He said this is the hardest corner to get right, especially when the other driver comes into your thing. To see him moving to the very top of the row from that understeer. Marion is ahead. Marion has DRS. Some idiot closing in on Marion. He's going to look up the inside, try to sell him a dummy. He's going to send it. Big lockup from some idiot. But some idiot and Marion, he closes the door, and it is some idiot taking P10. And those fresh soft tires helped push him and him to close in and get the new fast lap by half a second. What a push by some idiot now, and he's now closing in on Martin G. Try to get more points for him. Submit closing in on Martin G. Martin G going for the outside. Submit going for the inside line. Big line for Submit as Martin G covers him off in the braking zone. And Submit falls back, stays within P10 as now they're going into the place where he has all the grip. The higher grip that is with those soft tires. It is a high speed section. And Martin G just staying ahead of some idiot. Some idiot going very wide, kicking up a lot of dust right now. He's trying to find his way to close in on Martin G. Martin G looking a little bit loose. Some idiot closing in on the back of Martin G. Martin G going out into the danger zone. You don't want to go in there, because he'll just shoot you out the other side and maybe into the distance of a wall. And some idiot close in on Martin G. Some idiot and Martin G. Some idiot. Big lockup once again up the inside. And that is 2 cars in 2 laps for some idiot. And that is P9 on the Alfa Romeo. RG looking up the inside. Some idiot was dancing around trying to find opportunities, but in that switch ground, he loses a lot of ground to some idiot. And now Marion is on Martin G's tail end. No move by Martin G right there as he's following some idiot. But Marion looking very close on Martin G. Marion might be trying something. Oh, looking into that double apex corner, trying to sell Martin G the dummy. Martin G wasn't buying any of it. As they continue on to turn 12. This is turn 12. As Zerd picks up a 5-second penalty. That is good moves for Lamont, who is chasing down Zerd in turn 1. I believe Zerd tried to cut the corner once more, and it was just slapped with a 5-second penalty, saying, "You've been doing this all the time, man." Here is a 5-second penalty. And Lamont closing in on Zerd, unable to find anything he can. Nine laps remain here in China. Kodo has amassed a 2.1 second lead to Smeej and THM in that McLaren. Zerd getting close as Martin G falls down to Marion now. And actually Martin G, oh, he's very far off from Marion. What is happening to Martin G? Last saw Martin G, who was battling with some idiot. And now he's falling way down the field, and he's falling to Marion now. Right there. As Julian and Kreisig swap positions right now. Sorry, I didn't get that on the screen. Kreisig, though, trying to battle back on Julian. Big log from Kreisig. Julian trying to go for the switchback. Julian ups the ERS, and they're side by side. And with Julian and Kreisig. Kreisig up the inside. Julian on the outside. Who is going to get it? I believe it is going to be Kreisig with P7. What a opportunistic move by Kreisig right there. Getting back on Julian for P7. I'm going to switch over to Zerd right now. See if Zerd can close in on THM anymore. Zerd on fresher tires and THM just separated by 1 lap. Unable to do anything, unable to close in on the car ahead in the DRS range, because he also has DRS from Smeej. You see I7 getting very loose in the background. Sorry about going a little bit quiet right there. Had a little bit of a blink. Still on board with Zerd right now, and he's closing in on THM any way he can. Well, he's trying to really stay up with THM, as Julian is just trying to find any answer on Kraisig's pace. Gonna pace some idiot is the fastest car on track right now. He does hold the fast lap on 1:33.567 with those soft tires. See Julian following down to Kreisig. And this long back straight does have DRS. We'll stay with Kreisig for a little bit, but unable to close in all the way he can. Kreisig has a little bit of a moment right there with that lockup. We're going to rejoin THM right now, as Marion and Martin G trading, and Martin G goes extremely wide. I think he's missed his braking point with just 5 laps to go. But Smeej unable to have DRS right now, as that might prove very pivotal for THM. But THM doesn't have to worry about the car behind because he's pulled out a 1 second gap. And now to Zerd, and Zerd under pressure by Le Mans. We got a little 2x2 action happening right now. This THM's falling a bit behind of Smeesh. Le Mans and Zerd now closing up with each other. Le Mans trying to get a good straight for him. Goes hard in the braking zone. A little bit of lock up in the front left. Nothing too serious. And now Le Mans chasing down Zerd. Opens up DRS for that long back straight. Closing up on Zerd so fast like a rocket. He swings past him on the inside. He actually covers him off in the braking zone. And that is Le Mans taking P4. Now we're going to look at Zerd. See if he has anything to answer on to Le Mans. On board with Zerd right now in that pink helmet. Trying to close in on Le Mans. Le Mans going all over the track. Not having the best of exits right there. As Zerd is closing in. Just trying to find the better strategy on Le Mans. He's probably just going to wait for the straight and let that do the work for him in these closing 5 laps. Julian trying to find a way on to Chrysis. We see his teammate of Minute also back there. Minute on the soft tires. If he does catch up to it, he might ask Julian to see if he can go and take that position and try to fight on Chrysis with those soft tires. Big locker from Zerd right there. As he's just still trying to chase down Le Mans for P4. And Le Mans has dropped down 2 seconds from THM and Smeesh, who've been battling out for P2 and 3. They've also caught up to Kodo. And the fight for the lead, I believe, has reinvigorated himself like a phoenix. As I think we're going to get a race on our hands in these closing laps. 3 laps remain. Hard on the brakes goes THM. He's trying to close in on Smeesh. Now THM and Smeesh still racing it out with 4 laps to go here in Shanghai. Trying to catch up to Koda right now using that Ferrari power. Some penalties spread out here and where, but I don't believe I saw any of them with Kodo's name on it. THM and Sora joined us in chat right now as, oh my goodness, Martin G and Brownie falling down a lot. Brownie's caught up in this fight. Marion and Brownie have a little bit of scrap. Brownie up the inside and gets the jump on Marion. Brownie from out of nowhere gets ahead of Marion right now. I saw a little bit of scrap happening in the little backfield as Martin G returns to P10. As Brownie, all those worn soft tires. There's a massive hit by Marion on Brownie right there. Yep, there's no damage to Marion right now. Brownie swinging to the outside. Marion trying to close in on Brownie. Hard on the brakes they go. Big puff of smoke by Brownie. Unable for any correction with 3 laps to go here in China. Gonna rejoin the fight for the lead with THM, Smeej, and Kodo. We see THM try to close in on Smeej any way he can. After Smeej did the exact same thing to him that he was just trying to do. Yes, Smeej puts up any kind of defense to THM's attack right here. With 2 laps to remain here in China. Kodo, though, still leading out 2-lap fresher tires. Then Smeej. Kodo need to look after those tires, or else Smeej might have a little bit of run. Smeej is closing down on Kodo, is trying to get within that 1 second mark to the McLaren. Kodo is pushing as much as he can, but also watching after those tires. Smeej, though, looking poised to get within to 1 second of Kodo. I don't know about the top 3 having penalties. Maybe THM having 1. And Smeej is within a second of Kodo right now. And Smeej will have DRS as he chases down the McLaren of Kodo. And we're going to have a last lap shootout. There's DRS for Smeej right now. Kodo has no DRS. THM also has DRS. They're getting so close to Kodo right here. Big in the braking zone. No lockup, no drama. Perfect for Kodo right here. Kodo just has 1 more lap for Smeej, and THM here in Shanghai is going to come down once again. We saw it happen last time in Bahrain. We had a last lap shootout. Will we see it 2 races in a row with Smeej and Kodo? Smeej closing in on Kodo. Massive amounts of penalties from Marion and Martin G. Those guys have been scrapping at the back for all this entire race. Don't know what happened to Marion, what dropped him down to P12. Big lockup from Kodo right there. That's not going to help his tires. Kodo, 17 lap old tires. Smeej, 15 lap old tires. Smeej, though, he is in that 1 second range. He has a few more corners to close in on Kodo and make the lunge for the lead through this double apex corner right here. 9 and 10. They're coming up to 11. Smeej can close in on Kodo. Big in the braking zone once more. Another lockup by Kodo. Smeej closing in on Kodo right now. Smeej getting it locked and ready in. Kodo just ahead, rides on the curbs. Smeej, he is locked and loaded. Kodo going down to the inside, trying to break the slipstream of Smeej. Smeej, though, is running. Kodo up on the inside. Smeej going swinging to the outside, hard in the braking zone. Kodo's going to hold him off force him wide. And Smeej and Kodo. Kodo forces Smeej wide from that overtake. He closed the door. And Kodo is going to take the win. And there is THM getting that 3-second penalty. It's Kodo taking the win, followed by Smeej. THM in 3rd. Lamont finishing in 4th. Zerd gets a penalty. I7 takes 5th place. Julian takes 6th. Zerd in 7th. Chrysix in 8th. Some idiot in 9th. Martin G picks up the no, Brownie takes the last point as Martin G picked up a penalty. And it is Kodo standing up on top here today in the McLaren. They won in the first round. They didn't win in the second round, but they're going to win again in the 3rd round. But this time it is Top 97 HD. Oh, no, not instead of Top 97. It is Kodo taking the win. I'm getting people confused and everything. It's been a long day. They spread the champagne, smiles all around. Here are your final results. It's Kono taking the win, followed by Speeds, THM, Le Mans, I7, Julian, Zerd, Kreisig, Summit, Brownie, Martin G, and Marion. I'm going to be right back in the interview room just after a short message from Hype Energy.
Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato.
Oh, that's the unmute button. There we go. Howdy, 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 everybody. Welcome to the interviews. We're getting everyone in here very slowly as we're just now getting the winner in here. We're also going to get THM and Smeej in here as well. And we also had Le Mans jump in here as we now have the winner with us. Kono, how is that race?
Sweaty. was quite close at the end, but yeah, quite happy with the win. Turned out good in the end.
Any specific things you want to say about that race, or was it just an easy race and go?
Well, it wasn't easy. Like, first I had to overtake THM, who was obviously pretty fast, and at the end, like, Smeech and THM both were faster than me, so they were catching, especially like in the last 3 laps. So yeah, that was sweaty. I mean, I think Smeech had DRS on the final lap on the straight, so that was quite close. But yeah, got it covered, so yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, I saw you push Smeej wide and try to cover him up on the outside. It coming in out of turn 13. What was going through your head right then? Please don't swear.
You mean at the Smeej road?
Yeah, the very last quarter.
Well, yeah, I don't know, I thought I left him enough room. Maybe, like, I want to leave him more room, but I just, had no grip, so sort of understeered to the outside, but, I don't know. I thought I left him enough room. James,
Alright.
Did I leave enough room? I don't know.
Let's go to Smeej. Smeej, how was that race for you?
I don't know what to say.
That sigh is all you needed to say. That sigh is all.
I've been very tired going into this race, not much practice, and then to be fighting for the win like that and having to pound out lap after lap after lap after lap. That lap 27 was the best lap I've done in my entire life, and to get so close and then be... good luck, Marco. I'll get you another date.
Yeah.
Alright, THM, you were in second, you were leading, you had the fast lap for a bit, but you fell down to Smeej, after Smeej tried to do that, little undercut to you.
Well, we were trying to catch Mark, and James was faster than me, obviously, so I decided to let him through, which I very badly. Not team orders, just we wanted to catch Mark together, so the choice was to let Smeech pass and try to follow him, and that helped me quite a bit, because I had like maybe I was 1 tenth slower, so that helped me, and in the end, that's pretty unlucky for James, but very well done for Mark, another win. Yeah. What do you want to say?
Yeah,
another pole, another no win.
One of these days we'll get there, Monaco. Just for that.
Wait.
Oh wait, never mind. We don't race there.
You didn't hear. Sorry.
Never mind. Bad joke.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's all good. We also got Le Mans in here. Le Mans, you had some pretty dicey battles during the race. How was that for you?
I didn't see any. Like, not much. Maybe one with Zard and Smitch were overtaking me, but overall the race was good. I got held up a little bit in the pits, and then when I managed to overtake Zard at some point it was 2 seconds behind the HM, so the gap was pretty big, and then the pace they had, it was just undoable for me at the moment. And yeah, I finished 1.5 seconds outside of the podium, which is pretty decent after not so good Australia and
Yeah,
also not so good Bahrain.
THM picked up a time penalty at the line, and I believe, did you have a penalty as well?
I didn't have any warning.
Ah. Yeah, a clean race. Yeah. Unfortunately, that was just not enough for you to get right there. Well, hopefully, next race will be much better to you. Thank you guys for hopping into the interview room. I'm going to cut the stream off right now. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I am your commentator, Austin Knight, and I hope you guys have a good night.